Hi guys, this is for healers, coaches, practitioners of all sorts of different modalities. There's something that I see in our field, in our professional personal growth field, that I used to be a part of. Shamefully, I can admit that I used to think like this a few years ago. And as I've been on my own kind of healing and personal growth evolution, I can see now that that's a stage of development, and it's a stage that we need to move past as a profession, right? And it's a version of my truck is bigger than your truck. My modality is better than your modality. My trainer was better than your trainer. Me as a trainer, I'm better than that trainer. And it's this game of superior, inferior. I'm better than this, or they're better than me. And so when you play this superior, inferior game, when you are a healer, a coach, or a practitioner, then you are literally shooting yourself in the foot and wounding yourself and wounding your client, and stopping them from being able to really fully step into their own gifts. Right? I think I'm probably attuned to this a lot because I come from, my original modality that I trained in and learned is NLP. I'm an NLP trainer. And within the field of NLP, there is this massive split and conflict between different trainers and different styles and different lineages. And my lineage is better than your lineage. And I think it's a load of bollocks, to be honest. I think it's really childish. I think it just shows a real lack of maturity in your own sense of self-worth. And I get that, sure, there are trainers and modalities that have a lot of gravitas and that get great results. But playing this game of my modality is better than your modality really does a disservice to the entire field. And so what I'm creating, this growth collective for healers, coaches, and practitioners, was born out of this desire for collaboration, right? I've trained in a bunch of different modalities. I'm an NLP practitioner, I'm a master practitioner and trainer. I've done theta healing and auric healing and DNA clearing and matrix healing and what else? Meta coaching. And so if there's an alternative method, the only ones that I haven't personally gone down are the kind of body-based ones of like Reiki or massage or kind of energy body work like that. But now Spiral, I've integrated Spiral into my practice as well. So Spiral practitioner. And there is this thing in personal development of my modality is better than your modality. And I really think it does the entire field a disservice, because the best practitioners I know utilize a bunch of different things, and they integrate the insights from lots of different modalities to create and enhance and bring out their own personal style, their own personal gifts, their own intuition, their own essence, their own codes, right? I've recently been exploring gene keys and the Sophia code, and really tapping into more intuitive gifts and connecting into working with ascended masters and, very spiritual practices. And it really galls me to think that there are people out there that could be doing wonderful work supporting the enhancement and empowerment of people in our field to help others, but instead through their own ego games are playing superior. And when you play superior, then someone else has to play inferior, right? And so by playing superior, then you're saying that a whole bunch of other people that are doing a different thing are inferior. And I don't think it's a good way to sell. I don't think it's a good way to empower people. I don't think it's a great example of what our field could be and should be, right? And I'm going to say that really, really openly. I believe that our field could be and should be better. I feel that our field could be more collaborative. I believe that we all have a place, that we all have wisdom to share. Like everybody, unless you're a psychologist and a trained psychologist or psychoanalyst, in that paradigm of medical field, which is its own, respected field. If you're in alternative complementary therapies, then you're in alternative complementary therapies. So, let's be complementary, let's be collaborative. And, complementary therapies are supposed to help people heal and come from a paradigm of wholeness and healing. And so, contrary to the more academic medical field that kind of looks more from a basis of disease and goes, oh, you have this or that disease, coming from a more Newtonian model, then, usually most modalities come from a more complementary alternative paradigm, come from this idea that the person is whole, right? A person is whole, and if they are behaving in a way that produces less than desired results, it is not that the person is broken or diseased or has some disorder that needs to be fixed, but instead that it is that person is running a series of patterns. Maybe they're running from their shadow frequency rather than their empowered gift frequency. That they're running a series of patterns and beliefs that are leading to that behavior that is leading to less than desired results. And so instead of saying that the person is broken that needs to be fixed, we go, okay, let's track this back. Let's track this result back to its source and find the source of this particular thing, which might be a bunch of different things. It might be a belief, a value, an energetic frequency, a spiritual block. It could be any number of things, not in the muscle, spiritual, energetic, mental, emotional, physical. It could be on any of those planes. And then using a bunch of different modalities, which really, ultimately, after studying for 15 years, a stack of different modalities, and I've got a list of certifications, as long as your arm, ultimately it comes down to intention, right? Ultimately it comes down to the intention of the practitioner that is helping to clarify and bring out the intention of the client to create change, right? And so ultimately, really, it's kind of like the great placebo game. Coaching helps to create new neural pathways that creates a placebo effect, that's the medical term for it, in the brain, where the brain does, or the brain, body, mind, spirit, energy system does its own healing and creates its own change, which ultimately is just the power of intention. So no matter what method or tool you use, ultimately it comes down to intention and clarity and focus. And so it doesn't really matter what you cook with. If you're cooking and you're getting great results, then all power to you, and that's awesome. And we need to be celebrating that and learning from each other. So that's my rant for today. That I'm had it with the coach practitioner ego games, and I'm creating a new collaboration, right? A new collective for coaches, healers, practitioners of any modality, trained or untrained. If you are working in the field of personal development in an alternative capacity and helping people, and you get results with your clients, whether you only have one client or 100 clients, I would love to invite you to be involved in this collective. I have a significant amount of experience that I can share to help your own professional growth, and I would love to encourage a safe, respectful and honouring space for practitioners of any modality to share their wisdom and be respected and talk in a professional manner as professionals in a collaborative way, to work together to help our clients and help the planet. God knows we need people that are helping people to be more conscious and be more aware in their choices. And we need every single person, right? We need every single person that is called to do this work. And so we don't have time to be playing bullshit superior inferior games. I've had it. That's enough. If you would like to be a part of a welcoming, respectful, safe, honoring, collaborative community, then write, what shall we write? Collaborate down, COLLABORATE, collaborate. Write down collaborate in the in the comments below, and I will get you the details of the investment and all the details about the community so you can be a part of it when I launch very soon in the next few days. I'll have some introductory rates for you to be a part of it. If you'd like to join and get in at the launch and be a founding member, then you will get rewarded with a special rate. And I'd love to see you inside it. I've had enough with the superior inferior ego games. Let's work together to help our clients and help the world become a better place. Let's do it. All right. Bye.